like some of the stuff where you said like make sure that you're always remembering that you're talking to another human, and like empathize with them when they're saying like I feel like this, whatever. Like my one client was like, well, she cancels all the appointments, and she's like, well, why don't I just fucking have an open house every day? And I said, like, I want to be like, fuck yeah, like, I mean, and I was like, yeah, I understand that's how you feel, and sometimes like having an open house like that and confirming all your showings gets you the number that you're looking for, so you don't have to do this forever. And then she kind of like calmed down a little bit, but she still.
So you met her where she was.
Yeah.
You empathized.
Yeah, which was.
And it worked.
Mindset, yeah, it was huge. You know what I mean, so
culture matters.
Yeah, it started hitting me because I wanted to be like, well, yeah, you're fucking selling a house, you idiot.
Well, because you care.
Yeah.
You want to help.
Like, yeah, she cancels all the appointments. Like, how are you going to sell your house for top dollar if you're not letting anybody in? And she's like, well, then why don't I just have an open house every day? And I'm like, I understand that's how you feel, and that's what you need to do to get it done. I said, if you confirm all showings for a week, I guarantee it'll be sold and you don't have to worry about showings anymore.
And what happened?
She still cancels everything. But I'm hoping that I put a house up the street, and he said, dude, go and show, man. Let them in here all day. I don't care what time it is. I hope I get that under contract, and I can go to her and say, this is what the results are. Yeah,
and you didn't get in a debacle or an argument where it would have been a negative thing. You have another chance to actually help her.
Yeah. And that's what my client was like, dude. She's like, one of her best friends was a realtor in the office that Brendan does a lot of work with. And she was like, but I wanted to use you because she's like, this is a big move. And she said that day, she's like, there's no way that other girl would have been able to get this done. She's like, we are so happy that we used you, because she's like, I would have punched this chick. You know what I mean? Like, she was just terrible. But I just kept calm and just kept hitting it. Like, I called the mortgage company, I called the appraiser, I called their home inspector, I got that back out there. I had the roofer rewrite all this other stuff to put it in their language. You know what I mean? The title companies, I got her broker involved because they said, hey, we're getting into the point now where there's going to be some lawsuits. Like, help me out. You know what I mean? And
so let's talk about that. Let's talk about what it takes to get a deal done.
Yeah.
Ready? Mm-hmm. That's for his editing purposes.
Oh.
Isaiah, what it takes to get a deal done. 3, 2, 1. Brian, what does it take to get a deal done? I know you've been through some crazy deals. Mm-hmm. Recently, you had a deal that it looked like everything was going to stop it from actually happening, and the homeowners were not even going to get in their home.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, how do you have to think to get the deal done? Like, how do you think?
I always have steps, like plan A, B, C, D, E, all the way down the line until there is no more. Because I feel like with all the stuff that goes on in a real estate deal, at the end of the day, like, canceling or terminating a deal is the last thing that's ever possibly happened. In the beginning of a transaction, like, the buyer was interested in the property, the seller was interested in selling. So there was that common ground. So at the end of the day, a lot of people in the business that have problems tend to want to just cancel it and run away instead of dealing with it. So what I do is I try to do everything I possibly can to make sure that we can get it done. Because with one transaction, I always say there's like 10 people that have to agree on things. There's not 10 people in this world that agree on anything. So I have to kind of bring all them together between the buyers, the sellers, the agents, the mortgage companies, the township, the inspectors, all that other stuff, where I have to get them all in line and say, hey, like, let's all agree on this. Let's work together. Let's communicate properly and get us to the closing table. You
had something recently almost fall through, and not to go too into detail of other people's obviously personal lives, but what were some of the things that you, at that final last hour, that you pulled through to make that deal happen?
I had to take a step back because I was getting so overwhelmed because the deal was pretty much dead. And I put my heart into my sellers, where they were completely moved out of their house. They had a 1-year-old child. They're already ready to get into their new property. The truck's packed up, and the buyer just didn't understand what was going on and just wanted to terminate the deal. I took a step back, and then I put every list of person that is involved in the transaction and called them, and all put our heads together.
So you took a step back, you reflected, you took a deep breath. Mm-hmm. Namaste. Yeah. And then you made a list of everyone involved, mm-hmm. and then you called each person, mm-hmm. and had a conversation with them. Yeah, so it started Thursday night, and by 10 o'clock I was just so overwhelmed I had to shut my phone off, which was really hard because I knew that there was chaos and everything was falling apart, but there was nothing I could do at that point. I woke up from 7 to 10, I spent 3 hours on the phone, and we pulled out like a 1 in a million % chance we got it done. You know, you remind me of someone right now. I was watching an interview between the gentleman I'm throwing, a colleague, Anthony Lally. I'm throwing an event with him April 20th. And I was watching an interview between him and JT Fox, who's an international wealth coach. And it came up, Anthony's partner Carlos said that Anthony is the king of making to-do lists.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me that the common denominators of people that get things done. You know, and you've been very successful in real estate. So has Anthony. And it's interesting that people that actually get things done, sometimes it takes a step back, right? You have to reflect on it, which you said you did. And then you made that list of everyone involved because that's what has to get done. They have to be agreeing.
Yeah.
And then you just executed on that list.
Yeah, I always say, like, I have a whiteboard that's in the cloud, and I just like, write stuff down. I can see it, and things are moving quick, and it's weird. But yeah, I mean, it's all problem solving. I mean, anybody can show a house. I mean, anybody can write up a contract. It's really when times get tough and the heat's turned on, like, who's going to be able to get the deal done and fix these problems?
What gives you the energy to do that? I don't think I could do it.
It's the people. I mean, it really, at the end of the day, it's all about the people. Like, I didn't care about anything but getting this family into their new home because they loved it. It was in the neighborhood that they wanted and they dreamed of. It was everything they were looking for. They have a 1-year-old, I have a 2-year-old. Like, that's what it all meant. I mean, like, I can always sell their house again. I can figure out something, but at the end of the day, like, I needed this transaction to go through. And like the buyers wanted that property. They just couldn't understand certain things that were going on.
And you're there to lead them.
And it wasn't my job; it was the other agent's job. But at this time of where we were, I had to step in and kind of do that. They're everybody's job.
Mic drop.